I'm back with another Wes Craven film, The Hills Have Eyes. This is a horror film from 1977 and it got a remake done in 2006. The film is basically about this family that are traveling to California on their camper van, and the van breaks down in the middle of nowhere in the Nevada desert, literally in a place that is completely uninhabited except for this family of cannibals that are obviously very willing to attack. So again, like the last film, the narrative of the film, you know, what you watch in the film is not real. However, Wes Craven did take inspiration for his script on the legend of Alexander Sawney Bean. True, I said legend, I didn't say straight up real life story, but you know how legends work, right? They usually have some glimpses of reality that happened so long ago that they do get slightly twisted and exaggerated, but still, who doesn't like to believe that legends were true? The legend says that Mr. Sawney was the head member of a cannibal clan that lived in Scotland in the 15th or 16th century, depending who's telling the story. He was the son of a landscaper, and after trying to follow his father's footsteps, he decided that that life wasn't for him. So he and his wife decided to just leave and go and make it on their own. His wife, Black Agnes, was thought to be a witch. So they both kind of like agree on going to live in a secluded cave by the sea. This cave apparently was so deep that the entrance would be blocked when there was a high tide. Lovely, isn't it? While living in this cave, Mr. Sawney and his wife had 8 sons, 6 daughters, 18 grandsons and 14 granddaughters. Obviously the grandchildren were a product of incest in between sons and daughters. In order to survive, what they would do is to come out at night, and they would just wait in the roads for like lonely travelers or small groups, and they would assault them and murder them. They would then bring the corpse back to the cave, dismember the body, and then make dinner. The leftovers of the bodies were put in barrels, and they would throw the barrels into the sea. So just in case anybody would be wandering around and they would find a limb or a body part or something, they would just assume that it was because of an animal attack. There was a village nearby, and they did notice some people going missing and all that jazz. However, because the clan was very secluded and they would only come at night, nobody had seen them. So the villagers didn't know that they were there. So they just assumed that the roads were haunted. Very typical 15th century thought. At some point, people kept disappearing, and there was like a lot of people going missing. So the villagers just were like, okay, we need to investigate, you know, we need to know the cause of this. So they did a search. They did find the cave, but nobody thought that people could live there. So they just couldn't find any explanation. So what they did was just blaming some other innocent people based on the fact that those people might have been the last ones seeing the victims or the people that went missing alive. So they did like not hang, but they did accuse several innocent people for this. Poor people. Anyway, one night, the clan did their usual thing. They came out. They were just waiting for someone to pass by, and they saw this couple. However, to the clan's surprise, the man did put up a good fight, and it was long enough for other people to have time to come to the rescue. So more people came to help him. and the clan had to escape. The man survived, his wife or the woman that was with him didn't survive. But now they knew who were the ones to blame. This story came to the knowledge of King James VI of Scotland, and immediately he decided to do a very extensive search in order to find them, which they did. When they got to the cave, they found the clan inside, surrounded by dead bodies. They had limbs hanging from the walls, they had barrels full of just body parts, and they had a few boxes with like jewelry and trinkets that they kept from their victims. Then there is two versions of the ending. The first version is that they put some gunpowder by the entrance of the cave and the clan just died there. End of the story. The second version though, which is the one that I like the most, and I think is the most common version as well, is that they went into the cave and they got all the members alive. They took them into a prison in Edinburgh, and after that they transported them to Glasgow in order to be executed there for the crimes. Now, here's the gruesome part of the story. The male members of the clan were executed in the following way. They got their genitals, hands and feet cut off and thrown into the fire, and then they were just left there to bleed till death. The women of the clan, they had them all there watching first, and then they literally just burned them all at the stake, you know, witch style. Until that point, the Bean clan was thought to have killed and ate more than 1,000 people over the course of 25 years. But again, how much of this is true? Open to debate. I do remember though, I did one of these ghost tours when I went to Edinburgh. Of course I did. And they did tell us a story about the Cannibal clan. However, most of what I've just told you is from my own research online. So, if there's anyone in the room who knows the story better, please feel free to let me know, or if there's any corrections that you would like to do to what I've just said, welcome. Just leave it on the comments and I'll correct it. Whether real or a legend, the truth is that The Hills Have Eyes became a cult classic within the horror films, and they actually did a sequel, it got remade as well, and it's referenced in a few other horror films very well known within the genre. So, you know, it's quite an iconic film. Definitely recommend it. That's why I'm talking about it, I'm guessing. Yeah, as the last fun fact, many of the props that were used in the film, in the Cave of the Clan, were recycled from another very well-known horror film. It's the film from 1974, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which, I'm gonna tell you, it's also based on another real-life story. So stay tuned for that one, because I'm definitely gonna talk about it in the future. This is the end of this story. Thank you so much for being here one more day with me, talking about murders and limbs and cannibals. Fun, isn't it? But yeah, you know, really, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.